make your day as well. I'm trying to force myself to be more energetic, or else my mental state won't be able to keep up. My heart's thumping like crazy. I might as well have a laid-back so what attitude and go ahead with high energy. Yeehaw! But be careful that your batteries don't run out for various reasons. And just like I say each time, don't forget to say it frequently.
Before you finish that sentence, Chiaki, hey guys, DanganRonpa here, and welcome back to some more Let's Play DanganRonpa 2. In the last episode, we start off the fourth trial to see who murdered Nekomaru, or Mekamaru, and we learned that the structure of the funhouse is completely different than it was, well, than we thought it was. Turns out that Grape House and Strawberry House are the same 1-6-story building, and Grape House and Strawberry Tower, Grape Tower and Strawberry Tower are the same tower as well, just the floor is an elevator that moves between the two. Very interesting, and it turns out that the, as Nagita told us, the funhouse itself is the ultimate weapon. So anyway, let's get back to the trial.
I never expected the funhouse itself to be the ultimate weapon. Oh well, let's just press on ahead.
Huh.
Is it really alright to accept a situation
We kinda have to, Sonia.
I mean, that's not what's important. The thing that's really important is the killer who used the building structure. Like, who's Mekamaru's murderer?
Exactly.
But is it really okay to believe the building is the weapon? Nagito said it, you know.
There's no way I'd lie at such an important moment. I don't want to die either.
What happened to the bastard who kept saying how much they didn't mind dying?
He's right. There was a time when I thought I could become a stepping stone for your hopes, but I will sincerely retract that remark.
Retract?
I'm disappointed too, you know. If this was a murder for the sake of hope, I'd happily sacrifice myself.
You say such falsehoods, per usual. There is no such thing as murder for the sake of hope. Murder is simply murder.
That's pretty much it.
Forcibly sacrificing others for one's own desires. Even one as diabolical as I would avoid such actions.
I see.
It's fine. Let's just leave him alone and find out who killed Coach Nekomaru as fast as we can. Just so you know, it's not like I'm getting hungry or anything, you know.
Your drool seems to differ.
Akane! You're drooling waterfalls?
Nagito. As usual, I can't tell what he's thinking. I have no idea if he's serious or not.
Anyway, if the killer used the building structure, why don't we think about how they used it?
How they killed Nekomaru.
It might be better if we clarify the cause of death first, don't you think?
Nekomaru's cause of death, huh? He was horribly damaged as he was beaten senseless with a blunt object. If he was beaten with a blunt object, it wouldn't be a kill that utilized the building's structure. So what was Nekomaru's cause of death? Obviously falling.
I see! That's it. I think he might have died from falling.
Died from falling?
If the funhouse's secret is that it's a structure where both towers and houses are vertically connected, then the killer made use of its height and caused Nekomaru to die from falling.
Are you saying they pushed him off? Where'd they push him off from?
That, I don't know yet.
Don't just make things up when you don't know the method. Where in that building would you even be able to push someone off in the first place?
It might be possible in the tower. You could push him off the 4th floor when the elevator is on the
but
1st
don't
floor.
open when the elevator's on the 1st floor.
Did you forget how the elevator functions? When it's on the 1st floor, the door on the 4th floor won't open.
Saying he died from falling is truly incorrect. You should burn in the flames of hell.
But my gut is going crazy right now.
If Nekomaru died from falling, where did the killer shove Nekomaru from? If I'm going to reach the truth behind this incident, I need to solve that mystery next. I don't really think anyone pushed him. I think it's the alarm timer we need.
When the elevator is on the 1st floor, you can't go through the door on the 4th floor.
It'd be impossible to shove off the victim from up there.
Whoops.
Then, how about this? After locking Nekomaru inside the elevator, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor and made use of the drop.
Hold on! Did you forget the elevator has a sensor? As long as there's a moving object inside,
Damn it, it was the goodnight button.
the other door won't open.
Which means the elevator wouldn't... That must be the threshold of that elevator.
Well, alright, now I know what it is.
When the elevator is on the... You can't go through the door on the...
It'd be impossible to shut...
Then, how about after locking Nekomaru, they moved the elevator and made use of the drop?
Hold on! Did you forget...
As long as there's a moving object...
No, that's wrong!
Press the button, Nekomaru isn't moving. And neither is anything inside of him.
That sensor should only work if something is moving. If Nekomaru wasn't moving inside, the elevator sensor wouldn't have detected anything.
Could it be his sleep mode?
When Nekomaru's goodnight button is pressed, all of his functions shut down, and he enters sleep mode. If he's in sleep mode, the elevator sensor wouldn't have noticed him, right?
I see. So that's how...
However, even if they moved the elevator in that manner, Nekomaru would have just moved along with it.
Would he really?
There would have been no drop for him to fall and die from. Yes?
That's what I was about to explain before Kazuichi
Damn it,
interrupted me.
Kazuichi.
Silence, pest!
Now you're calling me a pest?
You are acting like one. We decreed a drop inside the elevator while Nekomaru is still in it. Chucky seems to have an idea, but what way could that be? Well, I think it's fairly obvious. I believe it's near the wire.
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is...
The hammer is suspicious.
Stop interrupting her.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
What about the oil on the floor?
Maybe the oil killed him.
The doorknob on the floor seems...
That's it.
I agree with that.
The oil killed him, Gundam. That's exactly it. God damn it.
Didn't the doorknob have scrape marks on it? That might have been where it got scraped by the wire.
Is that the same wire that was tied around Nekomaru?
The tip of that wire was tied into a loop. If the elevator moved while that loop part hung from the doorknob...
If they did something like that, he would have been suspended in midair.
That's right. He was suspended in midair.
Huh?
The killer tied up Nekomaru with the wire while he was in sleep mode. Tied the tip of the wire into a knot and hung it on the doorknob to the 4th floor. With that, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor of Grape Tower. And suspended Nekomaru in midair.
That's right! He was so well hung!
Shut the fuck
Kinda
up,
like...
Monokuma.
You better not finish that sentence!
The killer took advantage of the elevator's unique feature. Only the floor moves. By doing that, they created a drop so Nekomaru could fall to his death.
Too
Damn it,
easy.
Kazuichi. Why must you do this to me?
So what if they created a drop? There's no way you can make him fall and die with
Maybe
just
Hajime
that.
wasn't done yet.
Why? If Nekomaru is suspended in midair like that, then how do you get him to fall? Because if he's suspended in midair, he won't die if he doesn't actually fall.
Alright, here we go. We need the alarm.
Even if they suspended Nekomaru from a wire, how would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him off. There's no way they could do that.
It doesn't mean someone had to push him off. It's possible that he fell on his own.
What? Nekomaru fell on his own? Nekomaru should have still been asleep,
Nope.
though, right?
Allow me to cut through those words. What do you think would happen if Nekomaru woke up while he was suspended upside down in midair?
What are you saying? Like, how would he even wake up?
He has an alarm inside his body. As long as it was armed, it would have deactivated his sleep mode. Which means the killer set the alarm before they suspended Nekomaru.
If you woke up from an alarm, and realized you were hanging upside down and had no clue why. If something like that happened to you, you would start panicking a lot, right? Instinctively, your body would start moving. Nekomaru probably did exactly that.
And then, in order to make him fall from the force he was generating, the wire was hung on the tip of the doorknob so it would easily slip off. In actuality, the scrape marks caused by the wire were near the tip of the doorknob, right?
But Nekomaru didn't fall because the wire came off, right?
He fell because the entire doorknob came off. When Nekomaru awoke, he must have struggled much more than expected, which caused the doorknob to break
Wow.
off.
Was that unexpected for the killer too?
Well, that's probably it. If they knew it'd leave behind evidence like that, they would have at least tried to do something to cover it up.
The killer didn't expect the doorknob to come off. The reason that even happened was because Nekomaru tried to open it himself and almost tore the knob off. If that's really what it was, then that's the clue Nekomaru left for us to find.
I see. So that's how Nekomaru fell to his death.
Do you finally understand now?
Yeah. It appears it's just as Miss Sonia said. I'm just a pest. No, I'm not just a pest. I'm a total fucking
Yep.
pig. Isn't that right, Miss Sonia? If I'm a fucking pig, you can say so.
God damn it, Kazumichi.
No, I believe you gave your all.
Hey! Why aren't you teasing me anymore?
This guy, he gets off on this.
He probably does, not Kazui, fuck, Fuyuhiko. Shit, now I'm getting your names mixed up.
So
Sorry.
thanks to that alarm, Nekomaru ended up falling while he was still hanging upside down. That doesn't mean he just crashed straight into the floor. Of course, you know that too,
Obviously.
right?
Doesn't mean Nekomaru crashed straight into the floor. The moment Nekomaru fell to the floor, the only thing I think happened to him was he collided with the pillar.
I see!
Yeah, coal came out of his eyes too.
When Nekomaru fell to the floor, he ended up colliding with the pillar. Isn't that it?
Finally, the pillar!
There you go, Kane.
So that's how the pillar shattered, and why oil was spilled all over the place.
See, I told you the pillar was the weapon. My gut was totally
It wasn't
right.
exactly the weapon.
Well, the pillar was a bonus. It's not even clear if the killer intended that, or if it was just a coincidence.
I'm gonna chalk that up as coincidence myself.
At this point, it is quite difficult to find a clue that will lead to the killer.
Then what about the alarm? I'm positive the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m. And if we map it out from there...
Hold on, baby gangsta.
Stop calling me baby gangsta!
What'd you just say? Did you say the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.?
You didn't check it yourself? Nekomaru's alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nah, that's impossible. Because even though I slept in a little, I still got to the tower at 7 in the morning.
Now that you mention it, so did I. There was no way I could be late for Monokuma Tai Chi, so I left for Grape Tower before 7 a.m.
And if we found Nekomaru's body there, it would have been before the 7:30 a.m. alarm went off.
It appears yet another contradiction has been birthed.
Yippee.
How were you able to discover Nekomaru died at 7:30 a.m. when you went to the tower at 7?
That's what I want to know.
Another mystery I don't understand. I don't understand. Seriously, it's just one after another. But I can't choke up at a time like this. Just a little more and I'll be able to reach the truth. There should definitely be a clue to break through this contradiction. It should be fairly easy to guess what happened. I think it's Fuyuhiko's account that we need to use. Let me just check. To make sure. No, it's not Fuyuhiko's account, it's the wall clock, right? I think it's the wall clock.
Headed for Grape Tower. Before 7 a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right?
His time of death and the time the body was discovered. One of those must be an illusion.
Killer probably did some tampering.
Oh wait, no.
They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest.
Nope, they...
That's
Damn
gotta
it.
be it!
Okay, so that's what it is. It's the radio clock.
We headed for Grapes before 7 a.m.
But the alarm inside Neko was set for 7:30.
too late.
Nekomaru died because his time of death and the time. One of those must be an.
The killer probably did something.
Probably messed with the clock inside
Stupid fucking thing. Stupid fucking white noise.
No, that's
I
wrong.
hate you, white noise.
No, the clock inside his chest was a radio clock, so it would have been impossible to mess with.
So you're saying there's no way the killer could have tampered with the clock?
Maybe the clock Miss Sonia saw was the one that got tampered with.
The clock inside Grape House?
No, I checked all the clocks inside the funhouse.
Oh, that's what I asked you to do. So you really listened to me and checked all the clocks.
And because of that, I can confidently declare that all the clocks had the same time displayed.
If there's no possibility that the time was tampered with, then we must doubt that human's testimony.
Please believe me, we are not lying.
Then maybe it's a misunderstanding?
I never misunderstand. I'll crush you into dog food.
It's time-related contradiction. I don't think I should doubt the testimonies. I should doubt the clock. There's no mistake that something was done, but what was it? Perhaps we overlooked something. Maybe we're misunderstanding something. Think. If I focus and think, I should be able to find the answer to that mystery. And logic dive. I think it's fairly obvious what the killer did. And the further you get in this case, it's kind of more obvious. Not really who the killer is, just the actions they took. Like, because you can already guess, like, if they couldn't tamper with the clock in Nekomaru, what did they tamper with? I think it's pretty easy to figure out. Alright, what time? How did many others misunderstand? It's obviously the only thing that we do know right now. Time in the building. So we don't know who the fucking killer is, and we know for sure that the murder was taking place in the tower. We don't even know who the fucking killer is yet, or any clues anyway. Oh god, shit! I fucking fell through it. God damn it. Alright. What clock was tampered with? The building's clock, because you can't tamper with the radio clock, obviously. Ow. Shit. Alright. Which house had the wrong time? Both houses had the wrong time, that's what.
It's all coming together.
Alright.
You said you checked all the clocks inside the building. Isn't that right, Fuyuhiko?
Yeah, none of the clocks had the wrong time.
But what if all those clocks had been messed with?
What? All the clocks?
So even if you checked all the clocks inside the building, there's no way you'd have noticed it. I see. So the killer messed with the time inside the whole building by changing all the clocks.
Why the fuck doesn't anyone wear a watch?
So that's what it was. There's no way I would have noticed that.
This is truly fantastic!
Fuck Nagito.
Now's not the time to be pleased. More importantly, how much
That
was
should
the
be
time
fairly
off?
obvious. That's right, that's the main problem. Clarify how much time much the time was off. Don't miss the clocks. It's a mystery. What, really? I think this one is the, let's see. Who's account now? Is it Fujihiko's account? Oh. Okay. That might be it.
The time in the building was all messed up. Then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
The problem is, what time would 7:30 be in our time?
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow that down? If only I heard the sound when he fell. It would have been a great clue.
Or his scream.
He's not the type to let out a scream.
If only Nekomaru's alarm was loud enough, we would have heard it too.
There's no point in saying that. If does not exist in this world.
So I guess none of these are right.
If the time in the building was all messed up, then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio.
Oh, Akane's account. Right, I forgot about Akane's account. Rumbling noise at 5:30 in the morning.
Clock.
The time of death was clearly 7:30.
The problem is, what time it's set in our time?
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow that? If only I heard the sound
Yup.
when he... I agree with that. That's right. We should have heard the sound he made when he fell. Wasn't it that rumbling noise?
rumbling.
I thought it was just an earthquake, so I went back to sleep. Was that the sound from when Nekomaru fell?
Well, a huge body fell from the 4th floor to the 1st, and the pillar fell with it. It's obvious we'd hear the impact sound.
We heard that noise too.
It was when we were gathered at the Strawberry House Lounge. What is it, Sonia?
Oh, well. That sound everyone heard? I did not hear it at all.
Huh?
You probably didn't hear it because you were sleeping.
I could not sleep at all. I was awake the whole night with hunger pangs.
There's nothing to worry about. What's important is that rumbling noise anyway.
If we use that rumbling sound as a reference, we might be able to figure out how much our time was off.
I heard that sound probably around 5:30 in the morning.
Huh? You can tell?
I instantly woke up and left my room. And that's when I saw the clock in the lounge.
Excellent work, Akane!
That rumbling sound was heard at 5:30 a.m. And then the time was off by 2 hours.
I see! Nekomaru's alarm went off at 7:30, and if we heard the sound of his impact at 5:30, that means our time was off by 2 hours.
2 hours? That much?
We were starving pretty badly. There's no way we would have noticed.
Plus, the funhouse has no windows. And there weren't any Monokuma announcements either.
However, for what reason did the killer alter our perception of time?
The reason is obvious, so they can lure out just Nekomaru.
Lure out only Nekomaru?
If you messed with the clocks and used a specific thing, you definitely get Nekomaru to the tower alone, right?
Yep.
From there, the killer's plan was a splendid success. That's all it means.
Besides the meeting time, the killer also used a specific thing. The specific thing they used was Monokuma Tai Chi.
I see! That's it. The killer made use of the Monokuma Tai Chi activity in the morning.
How did they use it?
We were required to go to Great Tower every morning at 7 a.m. for that activity, right? But if they mess with all the clocks inside the building, what would that do to us? We wouldn't be able to attend on time, but that wouldn't affect Nekomaru. His radio clock had the exact time. That's right. In doing so, the killer was able to lure him to the tower by himself at the precise time.
Then, when I witnessed Nekomaru early in the
It was
morning...
already 7 a.m.
If I recall, you witnessed Nekomaru around 5 a.m. And if that time was also 2 hours off, it should have been 7 a.m. Yeah, That's pretty much it. At that time, he was heading over to Monokuma Tai Chi, right on schedule. I see. Now that I think about it, I realize what Monokuma meant when he said those words.
Too early! He didn't even ask you yet!
When you said everyone, you were including us, right? We thought we came to the tower on time, but in truth, it was way past the meeting time.
Ah, jeez. That's, well, how should I put it? What was it? You know, tripping over a foot or
I
something
think
like
you mean
that.
slip of the tongue.
Are you talking about tripping over someone else's
No.
fault?
Wrong! Too bad.
Liar! I'm right!
That's not it. It's incorrect.
That's definitely the correct answer. You always get so stubborn like this.
Let's just ignore the peanut gallery.
Yes.
Now that we've found out how the killer lured Nekomaru, the number of suspects has drastically decreased.
Huh?
Hey, why would that decrease the number of suspects? Don't be a friggin' liar!
You'll know I'm not lying when you listen to what Fuyuhiko's going to say next.
Huh? What the hell do you mean?
You witnessed Nekomaru going toward the tower. Did something else happen after that?
Are you talking about that alarm?
Alarm?
A little while after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off. Plus, it was just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So that's what it is. If Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at the time is the prime suspect.
Really? Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi at that
Yep.
time?
I remember now. The sound was so loud I couldn't help bolting from my room. But there was one guy who never left the lounge. We were both on the same floor. It's pretty weird that bastard never came out of his guest room.
Which means that person does not have an alibi for when Nekomaru fell?
Who is it? Who's the bastard?
So whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time, right? The person who doesn't have an alibi for that time, well, it's the person who wasn't there when the alarm went off. It's Nagito.
You're the only one! The one who wasn't there. It's you, right, Nagito?
That's right. Nagito wasn't there. It was just me, Gundam, and Fuyuhiko.
You didn't come out, even though the alarm was going off like crazy. You weren't in your room, were you?
If that's the case, where were you?
Please, say something!
If you don't hurry up and answer, I'm gonna suicide dive you!
Calm down, Kame.
If I may be frank, even if I wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't. You couldn't? What do you mean?
It's merely the foolish talk of the weak.
Not only did I not hear the alarm, I never even heard that rumbling sound.
He couldn't?
You're definitely fucking lying.
However, that is also true
I
for
think
me.
Chiaki said something like that too.
It is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in Strawberry House. But I did not hear the rumbling sound either.
think.
Is that not strange? I mean, everyone else heard it. To be honest, it's not just them. The same goes for me too.
Huh?
I was in a pretty deep sleep, so I thought that's why I couldn't hear it. But it wasn't that. I probably couldn't hear it at all.
Couldn't hear it? What does that mean?
You still don't know. Think about what the three of us who didn't hear a sound have in common. And I'm sure you'll
It was
figure
pretty
it out.
easy. The only people who didn't hear the rumbling noise were Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki. The secret is what these three have in common. Could this also be a secret that points to the killer? It's fairly obvious what these three have in common. Let's see. Well, I got like the letters I needed right off the bat. What the fuck did that? explode on? There we go, deluxe rooms. Huh, that was a little nerve-wracking.
I got it! Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki, the three of you were staying in deluxe rooms, right? If I recall, the deluxe rooms are...
Deluxe room is soundproof and has excellent air insulation. That's pretty much the only important thing there.
The reason we could not hear the rumbling noise...
That's right. It was because the deluxe rooms have superior sound insulation. You actually noticed that. Nice catch, Hajime. Are you using your ultimate reserve corps student
Fuck
talent?
you, Nagito.
Now then, you guys must understand by now, right? The true identity of Nekomaru's killer.
Hold on a sec. Why does that lead to who the
It's
killer
fairly
is?
obvious, Akane.
Why? Well, that fact just now is a very important clue, and a decisive factor in identifying the killer.
Decisive factor?
Somehow, I feel like I understand what Nagito means. The killer among us. The killer who murdered Nekomaru. Now, the killer is someone who is in a deluxe room and still heard the rumbling sound. There's only one other person that can be. It's Gundam.
You're the only
As
one!
much as I hate that, Gundam is the killer.
Gundam, there's something I want to ask you. When the alarm rang at the Strawberry House Lounge, you rushed over there too, right?
What's wrong with that? If the bell of catastrophe rings throughout the night, it is the universe's providence to stop it.
Why were you able to hear it?
Hear what?
I mean, you were also staying in a deluxe room, right? Nagito was staying in a deluxe room in the same house on the same floor, and he couldn't even hear it. So why were you able to hear that alarm?
Now that you mention it...
Gundam?
There's only one possibility. You weren't in your room at the time. That's why, even though you were staying in a deluxe room, you still went to the lounge. Am I right?
Gundam, you have some sort of explanation, right?
Gundam probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko. Me?
You were staying in the lounge, weren't you?
After you saw Nekomaru heading to the tower, you stayed at the lounge for a while. Am I correct? Until the moment that alarm started ringing, right? If you were in the lounge for that long, the killer who had left earlier obviously wouldn't be able to go back.
Even though Mekamaru's murder was a death trap that utilized the alarm in his chest, the killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance.
Like putting Nekomaru in sleep mode and tying him up with the wire.
In order to do that, the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower. Which means when Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru, the killer was already at the tower.
And once they tried to go back, they couldn't because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
In their original plan, the killer should have returned to their room before the alarm in the lounge went off. And they were supposed to stay in their room. They weren't planning to come out and go to the lounge.
Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm or the rumbling sound, thus proving they were in the room, just like us.
The best case scenario would have been if those two in the lounge had gone to check the deluxe rooms. After all, if they personally saw the killer sleeping in their room, it gives the killer a stronger alibi. Unfortunately, they failed to secure that alibi.
Because I was in the lounge.
Way to go, Fuyuhiko, fucking up a killer's plans.
So the killer couldn't go back to their room. and ended up hearing the lounge's alarm.
But why'd you come out? You should have hid till the excitement died down.
If Gundam tried to hide, and if those two went to his room to check on him, he would have been found out. That would have been the worst possible outcome. That's why he couldn't just stay hidden.
If those two had just checked the deluxe rooms as planned, that would have been ideal, but how ironic. The moment Fuyuhiko set foot in the lounge, your plan was doomed.
Gundam? Please, can you at least say something?
Answer me this, including myself in my 4 dark devas of destruction. How many ears do we possess?
Huh?
The answer is 10. That's right, I possess 10 ears. That means I have 5 times the hearing of a normal human. The soundproof system here may as well not exist.
Is that your argument?
Come on, Gundam.
You bastard! Do you understand the situation you're in right now?
Do not panic. The truth shall now commence.
Oh, Gundam.
At the time, I left my room to go to the bathroom. By coincidence, I heard the alarm. That's right. That's all it was. The world is always so simple.
Are you saying it was just a coincidence? Isn't that timing a little too perfect?
And yet, I'm being suspected by all of you. It seems it was actually horrible timing on my part.
I see. You're still holding out. Well, you don't have to admit it. We're going to decide who the killer is with the majority vote anyway.
I kinda still don't wish Gundam was the killer in this case.
So, why don't we just go ahead and start voting? It's obvious that Gundam is the killer.
Gundam's such a cool character. I don't want him to die. Just like most of the other characters in this game too. They're such cool people. I don't want them all to die. But no, this game especially makes a point to kill the people that you like. Not as much as the first game. Oh well.
Hold on a sec.
You know, Hajime, this class trial, this killing, it's merely the opening act, you know.
Hey! What do you mean the class trial is just the opening act?
Perhaps I should say, it's just a farce. Just a boring farce. So boring, so stressful. I'm so painfully bored that I might develop stomach ulcers. Seriously. Let's just hurry up and finish this before I collapse from poor health.
Something's up with you, Nagito.
Nagito, something definitely happened to you, didn't it? At some point during the investigation, your behavior became even weirder. What actually happened? Did you discover something?
Well, let's just leave that fun for later. And finish this opening act already.
Ah, you said opening act again!
Please hold on! We have yet to hear Gundam's
Does he
rebuttal!
have an argument?
But he's completely shut up. Perhaps he can't argue anymore.
Gundam!
I was simply at a loss for words after being dumbfounded by your pathetic assumption. In fact, I shall deny the very basis. Your assumption has been wrong since the beginning.
Since the beginning?
Based on your assumption, I hung Nekomaru from the 4th floor of the tower and made the floor descend to the 1st floor. From there, after returning to Strawberry House, I was present when the alarm at the lounge went off, correct? Although going to and fro is busy enough as it is, how would I be able to travel between both houses anyway?
I see. The contact elevator was broken.
As I recall, the killer tampered with the Grape House control panel, which shut down the elevator. Plus, the stopped elevator should have been facing the Grape House side. If so, the human who used the elevator would have left it at Grape House. For these reasons, it's an indisputable fact that the killer destroyed the elevator at Grape House.
And what's wrong with that?
if the elevator was broken at Grape House, you wouldn't be able to return to Strawberry House.
However, I was already at Strawberry House. I was present when the alarm in the lounge started ringing, which means your assumption is clearly wrong.
Are you serious? And here I thought it's already been decided.
Have you learned your lesson, pitiful humans? You cannot overcome this contradiction.
Or can we, Gundam? That's wrong. When something's obviously wrong, that's when a contradiction is born. There's no such thing as a contradiction that can't be overcome. Alright, here we go. I believe this one is the final MTB. MTB, what? Yeah, that's Machine Gun Talk Battle. I mean, whatever the fuck this segment's called. Non-stop debate. That's what it is.
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses. As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House...
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
There we go, so you're
How
past
much
that.
longer do you plan to lecture me? Why don't we stop this already?
Contradiction is born when something is obviously wrong. There's no contradiction I can't shoot through. We're going to find out what that is. For the sake of everyone's hope, I'll shoot through the contradiction.
That elevator was the only means of travel.
No, that's wrong!
Sorry, Gundam, but you're wrong. There was another way through.
No, there should have been another way to move between the two houses without the elevator.
Such a method does not exist.
Then why don't we ask the person who actually used that method?
Alright, time to spill your guts. Yet again. Nagito.
You're the only one! Nagito, you should know. What are you
Don't be an asshole right now.
Don't play dumb. You appeared so suddenly that one time because you used that method, right? There's a secret passage connecting the first floor of Strawberry House to the third floor of Grape House. Isn't that right? Jeez. Once again, I let the reserve course show up. But you're right. There's a door on the floor of the Octagon, which is on the first floor of Strawberry House. After I opened the door and went down... Surprise, surprise! I ended up in the Monokuma Archive, which is on the third floor of Grape House.
Meaning, the third floor and the fourth floor are actually connected.
Plus, once you've cleared the final dead room once, you can pass through it as many times as you want. If they used that secret passage, they could have gone between the two houses as much as they wanted.
Infinity Unlimited Flame!
Yes. Infinity Unlimited Flame.
However, what if the killer was unaware of the existence of the final dead?
I love how that's also the skill you get from Gundam once you finish all his free time events.
There's no way they didn't know.
That is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own suspicion. If you value your life, you should stop with your scrutiny.
There's no way I can stop.
Did you say? Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Alright, calm down, Hulk. Let's do this. Now, if I remember, this is a really annoying rebuttal shutdown. Shutdown? Showdown. Alright, I mean the wire.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Oh, that was
Can't
close.
back down!
Yes!
I already proved the secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blood...
Allow me to cut through those words! The wire used to string up Nekomaru's body, the hammer that looked like the weapon, and the chain on the door in the tower. Those are all the items that weren't in Funhouse. Where did the killer obtain them? The only place I can think of is the octagon. There were various weapons and tools there. I'm pretty sure I saw stuff like wires, hammers, and chains too. Since those items were used in the crime, there's no doubt that the killer went to the octagon.
If that's the case, they obviously know about the secret passage too, right?
Oh, Gundam.
It seems this is the end. Normally we'd end up listening to Hajime lecture us with a very long summary of the case. But there's no reason to waste any more time on this opening act. So I'm going to end this right now. Hey!
Damn it, Nagito, let me do the fucking closing argument. That's my favorite bit too, you motherfucker.
First of all, by messing with all the clocks in the building, Gundam tried to lure only
Even gets the fucking
Nekomaru.
music too.
The elevator was probably broken by that point. Thanks to that, Nekomaru wasn't able to go to Grape Tower, which was supposed to be the meetup point. So he tried going over to Strawberry Tower, just like we did when we found out the elevator was broken. Well, it's obvious he'd attempt that. At that time, we didn't know the two towers were the exact same place. Also, the button in Strawberry Hall wasn't broken, so he was easily able to enter Strawberry Tower. But surprise! Gundam was waiting for Nekomaru's arrival.
Hold on. If Nekomaru didn't go to Strawberry Tower, what would the killer have done then?
Nagito.
Their plan was a balancing act of uncertainties. But even if they failed, they probably wouldn't have minded. They can just greet everyone the next morning as if nothing happened, and come up with a different plan.
And, without such a risky plan, they wouldn't have been able to lure him at all.
I'm going to continue summarizing the case, okay? Through this, Gundam successfully lured Nekomaru to Strawberry Tower. There's no way he could fight head-on with the robotic Nekomaru, so by pressing the goodnight button, he rendered Nekomaru powerless without fighting him.
Hold on! You... What did you just say? That I didn't battle?
What's wrong with that?
Don't mess with me! Don't mess with me! I cannot ignore those words!
Why are you angry all of a sudden?
You fools do not understand! You don't understand at all! Ha! You make me laugh! After all this time, you still don't understand anything at all!
I don't understand anything. What does that mean?
I think that's a perfect example right there, Akane.
It appears I cannot finish just yet. Maybe I'm just a human destined for hell. However, I cannot finish just yet. I cannot finish!
What do you intend to do?
It's obvious! I'm going to destroy your illusory assumptions!
Are you saying you still have more? You still have room to argue?
Your words. You said I pressed Nekomaru's goodnight button. However, that button was on the back of Nekomaru's neck. To press it, I'd have to get behind him.
It's not easy to get the drop on Coach
I would think
Nekomaru.
so.
It's even more difficult if it's a one-on-one situation.
That's right. If it's a one-on-one situation.
Just as I thought, truly frail. Succumbing so easily to this simple argument, it was just a mere illusion. If you want to set me up as the killer, at least surpass your own human limitations.
That's wrong, Gundam. You're the one who's wrong.
Such a wonderful line. However, I cannot say that I'm satisfied. Listen well. I shall teach you 2 tips for making someone admit their defeat. First, you must crush them with your own overwhelming power. And as for the other, You must provide a reason that will persuade that human. You have not fulfilled either of those yet.
Guess you really don't want to admit it. Then, just as you requested, I'll provide an argument that'll leave you no choice but to be persuaded. Alright. Panic talk action against Gundam. Here we go.
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! Show me the cadaver! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! For the... I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! Show me the cadaver! It's Nekomaru's back. Do you really think I can get behind him
The
so
four
easily?
Dark Devas.
This is the end!
That's how we got behind Nekomaru. Using his hamsters.
Even if you didn't get behind Nekomaru, you should have been able to press the button on the back of his neck. As long as you had the power of the hamsters you keep with you.
Oh?
Are you seriously saying he used his hamsters to press the button on the back of Nekomaru's neck?
Of course that'd be impossible for a normal hamster, but it would have been possible for Gundams. In fact, we saw that with our very own eyes, right?
Yep, hamsters are intelligent enough to press the buttons.
Now that you mention it, after Ibuki was killed in the music venue, one of Gundam's hamsters retrieved a piece of wallpaper from the baton lighting, right?
Good job, Gundam.
Hey, with your friends and their exceptionally smart brains, it must have been possible to secretly get one of them behind Mechamaru and press the button on the back of his neck.
How about it, Gundam?
Not just myself, but you actually brought up how splendid my subordinates are. I have no recourse but to admit it.
Admit it? Did you say you admit it?
It appears I've obtained a one-way ticket to hell. Fine! Then you must trample me underfoot and advance. Victory can only be built upon a foundation of corpses. You cannot find peace without sacrifice anywhere. Now, trample this life. Trample it as though it were mere trash on the side of the road. Pull the curtain strings of this worthless performance with your own two hands.
You know what that, guys? Gundam has admitted his crime. We just gotta go over it from the beginning, like we always do. Still, I'm sad to see that it's Gundam who is the one who committed the crime. I think this is it, right? Yep. It's sad, really. I didn't want to see Gundam die, to be totally honest. No. Strawberry Hall, not the contact elevator one. Let's see. Fake weapon, we don't have that one. But we do have Nekomaru's weakness. What time did Fujiko see Nekomaru? 5:30. 5. Labs, that was Fujiko as well, but we don't have that one yet. Fake weapon. We gathered the lounge. Alright, so let's see. Nekomaru fell. Doorknob came off. That's not... lunch for Hiko. And the last stock. Alright, let's see. Don't need the Hajime one. Fake weapon is the hammer. And I believe the last one actually is just the Hajime one. Yup.
Here's everything that happened in this case. Let's first go over the many tricks the killer prepared before they committed the crime. First, they destroyed the contact elevator. This separated Nagito and the others in Strawberry House from our group in Grape House. Next, they lured Nekomaru out by himself by turning back all the clocks in the funhouse by 2 hours. Additionally, in order to secure an alibi, the killer went to the Strawberry House lounge and set the wall clock's alarm to 5:30 a.m. After finishing their preparations, the killer went to Strawberry Tower with the necessary tools in hand. They obtained these tools from the Octagon, which you can enter once you clear the final dead room. This means the killer discovered the secret of the funhouse faster than anybody else. That secret being, Strawberry House and Grape House are actually the same building. On the morning of the incident, Nekomaru woke up and headed over to Grape Tower for a specific reason. There, Fuyuhiko, who was at the lounge by coincidence, witnessed Nekomaru. According to Fuyuhiko's testimony, that was around 5 a.m., but by that point, the killer had already messed with our perception of time. In actuality, Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru at 7 a.m. That's also the same time Monokuma Tai-Chi begins. Nekomaru went to Grape Tower to participate in that. However, because the contact elevator was broken, Nekomaru was unable to go to Grape Tower. So he decided to try going to Strawberry Tower. But the killer was waiting for him there. With the power of hamsters, they were able to press the good night button on the back of Nekomaru's neck. This forced him to enter sleep mode, rendering him immobile. From there, the killer began preparing to use the ultimate weapon. First, they set the alarm in Nekomaru's chest to 7:30 a.m. so he'd wake up. Then they tied him up with a metal wire, tied the tip of the wire into a loop, and hung it on the doorknob. After leaving Strawberry Tower, the killer then destroyed the door button to Strawberry Hall. They did this to keep us from entering Strawberry Tower, and to keep us from discovering the secret of the building's structure that they used to kill Nekomaru. Then, they used the secret octagon passageway to travel to Grape House. After arriving at Grape Hall, they pressed the button to open the door to the tower. When that happened, the elevator-like floor of the tower began descending, and Nekomaru's body was still inside, dangling upside down in midair from the wire. The killer entered Grape Tower to see if their setup was successful, and placed a hammer on the floor to look like the weapon, then wrapped a chain around the back door. This was done to make us falsely believe we couldn't enter the tower from Strawberry Hall. With this, the killer finished their setup and tried to go back to their room using the secret passage, so they could craft their alibi when Nekomaru died from the fall. But something unexpected happened. Fuyuhiko, who saw Nekomaru earlier, was still at the lounge. As a result, the killer couldn't return to their room, and with no options available, time ran out. The lounge's wall clock alarm started ringing at 5:30. Well, actually 7:30. To avoid a worst-case scenario, the killer was forced to appear in front of Fuyuhiko with the others. When the wall clock's alarm rang, that was also the same time Nekomaru was waking up. He woke up while he was still hanging upside down,
so he couldn't help but sway his body powerfully. Originally, the loop of wire was only supposed to slip off the doorknob, but because there was a heavier load than expected, the doorknob ended up breaking. Nekomaru fell from the 4th floor all the way to the 1st floor. He crashed into the pillar, which decapitated him on impact, and died. The sound of Nekomaru's impact echoed throughout the funhouse. However, by this point, the killer's plan was about to fail, thanks to the broken doorknob and Fuyuhiko. Meaning, the killer is someone who wouldn't have heard the alarm if they were in the deluxe room. They also wouldn't have been able to return to their guest room, because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge. That someone is Gundam Tanaka. I can't think of anyone else but you.
These little hamsters, they're all like concerned for him. Look so sad.
Splendid. That was splendid. For a mere human, you did quite well.
Stop. Stop it already. Stop using weird words to avoid the truth. Oh, I'll friggin' kill you myself!
I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe. You killed Nekomaru? I cannot believe something like that.
You don't wish to forgive me? Do you feel regret? Then finish it! Cast your impure votes for Gundam Tanaka! My beloved, deadly foes, let the voting time begin!
And that's that. Case 4 is done. Probably didn't do too well. 77, jeez. What am I gonna get? Fucking B, of course. Because that fucking 77 right there. What was this anyway? Oh my god. I got C on that? This 84 counted as an A. That one C. I feel like it's that one C that brought me all the way down to a B. Alright, I guess we're done here.
This result isn't all that exciting. Now then, please pull the lever in front of you and cast your vote. Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Please pull the lever! Ow! Crap! I bit my tongue at the most important part!
Oh boy. I wonder if we'll get it right or not. I wonder who the killer turned out to be. Hello, Gundam. It'd be bad if I bit my tongue again, so I'll speak slowly. Judging from the results, you guys were correct once again. Getting 4 in a row without any mistakes is a splendid achievement. That's right, the one who killed the robotic Nekomaru in the amazing funhouse was Gundam Tanaka. Yeah, I said all that without biting my tongue. Now that we've decided who the killer is, let's do the execution already and get this over with. Hold on. It's true that the class trial is finished, but that doesn't mean the incident is over. We can't finish yet until we hear it from Gundam.
Jeez.
No matter what he says, it won't change a thing. Well, I have no right to stop you either, so do whatever you like.
Fall, my tears.
Why do you want to talk to the one who has lost? The loser merely leaves. It would just be unnecessary for me to say something.
Listen
Is what I would like to say, but for honor's sake, I shall correct one thing. Correct. You guys said I made Nekomaru powerless without fighting him. That, however, is a great mistake. Huh? Nekomaru did fight. That is no mistake. And because he fought, he lost. And died. Lost and died?
This, too, must be the will of causality.
If he was just trying to cling to life, there are many ways he could have done so. However, he did not allow that. What do you mean? Explain! Fine then. I shall reveal it all.
Let's make
Within the
history.
final dead room, I discovered the secret of the funhouse. and I devised a killing plan utilizing that secret. By tampering with all the clocks in the building, I succeeded in luring Nekomaru to the tower. And this is what happened. Nekomaru and I were alone in the tower, standing face to face with one another. I should say I expected as much from Nekomaru. He sensed my subtle killing intent, and instantly understood the situation. And we had ourselves a stare down. In that situation, if he wanted to run away, it would have been easy for him to do so. He could have run away, or even called for help. But he did not turn his back to me. Instead, he chose a fight that risked life and death. A fight that risked life and death?
Let me tell you.
He was serious, too. He gave it his all to try to kill me. If I had died instead, the mystery surrounding the case would have been even more complicated. You would never know why I, the victim, went to the tower by myself. Nobody would know that the victim, me, was actually the one who planned the whole thing.
Could it be?
Nekomaru really did that?
Sensing even my subtle killing intent, as expected of you, Nekomaru.
The scorching, stinging, tense atmosphere. I've been a team manager for so long, I'd nearly forgotten this. This is great! What a comforting atmosphere!
That's a great line.
And what is your reason? Do you intend to resolve this situation by killing me?
I am the Warlock, Gundam Tanaka. Heroes, Lords of Darkness, and even the gods themselves flee from me. I do not cling to any trivial reason. I'm simply going to kill you because your very existence is an annoyance.
You'll drench your soul with evil until the bitter end, huh? Splendid! In response to your spirit, I shall kill you with all of my might. I won't go easy on you. Don't even think about holding back. Don't waste your breath on cowardly tactics. Give me everything you got.
Nekomaru Nidai, your blood will drench the foundation of my empire!
That is...
Why? Why did you fight? We're all friends. Why couldn't you stop this? Even if both sides agreed, it was still wrong. I will not argue. I have no intention of forcing my values upon you. However, I must say this. What's the point of living if you're just waiting until you finally die? There's nothing courageous about that. That is abandonment, a mere feeling of resignation. Wait, are you telling us to just wait until we starve to death? I'd rather have that happen to us than have our friends kill each other. Huh? Do you mean that you'd rather die?
Fall.
Ever since we were locked inside that building, everyone had been dominated by that feeling of abandonment. However, nothing is born from resignation. It is simply a reason to give up.
If you flinch, you will
Giving
die!
up on life. That's just an insult to life itself.
Let me
Have you
ask.
fools heard of the term dog-eat-dog? Cannibalism? In zoology, cannibalism is a commonly observed phenomenon. Many creatures at some point in their lifespan engage in cannibalism.
Listen
That is what
well.
it means to live. If you say killing for the sake of living is evil, then what would you call giving up on life itself?
I shall engulf this
If a world would consider that justice, then I will fight that world with every last fiber of my being. Giving up on life and choosing death is nothing but a blasphemy towards life.
I
It
renounce
is a violation
you.
of the natural order. It is the arrogance of humanity. Are you saying all that trying to justify what you did? But it sounds like Nekomaru felt the same too. That's why they fought, right?
Damn it.
Fine.
That man had the courage to die when he needed to die. That is why he challenged me to our battle. Regardless, as I've already said, I do not intend to force my values upon you fools. I have betrayed you all. That is the absolute truth.
Fall, my
But
tears.
even so, don't you think it's a better alternative to slowly starving to death here? That
Oh.
belief is why you committed your crime. Hey, what about the final dead room? Did you do the Russian roulette too? I just want to say this right now. Even though Gundam's really not going to say anything, you all just heard why he committed his crime. He did this, and Nekomaru even understood. They had their fight just to save everyone else. That's why these two are like two of my favorite fucking characters in the game. They're so fucking awesome. They're willing to sacrifice themselves just so everyone else can get out of the funhouse. They're fucking heroes, dude.
Let's make history.
Unlike Nagito, I only did it once, but compared to my battle with Nekomaru, that was mere child's play. You know,
Well?
after listening to you talk for a while, I'm starting to think that, well, it's also because you unexpectedly admitted your crime without much resistance. Gundam, don't tell me you didn't sacrifice yourself for our sake, did you? I can't believe you would ask such a foolish question.
My name is Gundam
Just
Tanaka.
who do you think I am? I am Gundam Tanaka, history's greatest monster. See, he'd never admit it, but that is the reason why he committed his crime. He's a big softy on the inside, wanted to save everyone. He and Nekomaru. My cursed existence is feared by all mankind. There's no way I'd sacrifice myself for the sake of you fools.
Fade like dust in
Not
the
in a
wind.
million, not in a billion, not in 10,000 billion years. In the name of pandemonium, it is impossible. Is that it? Then I'll just leave it at that. Now then, let us be rid of this foolish talk. It's about time the fun started. Monokuma, let us begin. Yay, got it. I have prepared a very special punishment for the ultimate breeder, Gundam Tanaka. This is just too much. Please, Monokuma, please help Gundam.
Huh?
Sonia. Please, I beg of you.
How?
Sonia. An act as unrefined as stopping a man from going to his death does not befit a noble such as yourself. Gundam. It's fine to start for reals, right? Yes, I do not mind. However,
What is it, my four dark devas of destruction? Are you worried about me? Oh, my feared four dark devas of destruction. That is not like you at all. However, there is no need to fear. In this world, I am only a temporary visitor. I was simply visiting for a moment, and now that my duty is complete, I must return to the darkness. That is why, until the very end. Pride, conceit, courage, insolence, fearful of nothing, daunted by nothing. Let us laugh uproariously! That is Gundam Tanaka! I shall stick with my evil until the very end! Open sesame pandemonium! I shall fill hell with true hell!
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
before we start back up, I just want to say two things. Well, a couple things. First off, a couple things about that execution. It's more so things that I happened to notice on my first run of this game. Like, I don't know why it bothers me so much, but when you listen to the music during the execution, like, halfway through, some of the sound effects and music become, like, desynced with the video. I don't know why that annoys me so much. It's weird. And the other thing, if you still don't believe what I was saying earlier about Gundam's murder actually sacrificing himself so that he can just save everyone, take note of what happened at the end of his execution. Note how he's just like this guy who's always like talking about evil and all that shit, like going to hell, all that stuff. In the end, what happens to him? Angels come up and take him to heaven. Why? Because he's a good guy. He sacrificed himself so everyone else can live. That is why Gundam is one of my favorite fucking characters in this game. He is a badass, he's fucking awesome, and he's a fucking... what's the word for it? Hero, I guess. That's why I love Gundam so much. Anyway. Gundam. No. No. Even after Gundam is gone, the spirit of his parting words still lingered deep in our chests. Don't give up on life. Did I misunderstand what he meant? Then, what's the right thing to do? I don't know. No matter how much I think about it, I don't know if I'll be able to answer that.
Damn it.
Damn it. Damn it! I'm so pissed off. I need to throw something. You all spent so much time worrying about each other. Thanks to that, things ended up like this. You're all full of shit. Every last one of you. But the biggest piece of shit is me. Damn it. Why am I so weak? It's such a downer, clearly. But still, even though we feel this way, we still gotta do our very best.
You are right.
This time around, we must move forward. We must continue to live and believe in our friends. If not,
You are
Gundam
right.
will most likely crawl his way out of hell, and I presume he will be very cross with us. Oh, Sonia. She's crying. Oh. You're right. You're right. We shouldn't just stand here. I mean, it's not like this is over. We still have to do it. We still have to finish this. For the sake of our friends who have died, we need to finish this once and for all. So, don't just stand there. Stand up and walk. Move forward. Live. If you don't, everyone who fought and died will have died in vain. We can't allow that. So, how long are you guys going to stand around chattering? The class trial is over, so it's okay for you to hurry back over to Jabberwock Island. However, the killing school trip will proceed as usual, so just make sure you know that. Hold on. How much longer are you going to keep doing this? Seriously, how much longer is he going to keep doing this? How long is this going to continue?
Now then.
Alright, after feeling down for so long, I finally feel refreshed. Let's hurry back and eat some food.
Hey,
Hold on a sec. That mood shift is too damn fast.
It's not
Well,
like
you know,
that.
it's like Gundam and Nekomaru said. That's what it means to live. Right? Oh, Akane too. Huh. She's certainly something else. But seriously, I'm starving. Then let's go back for now and eat. And then, after we're full, let's sleep as much as we want.
Right?
And then, let's do our best again. Yeah, you're right. With this, the class trial has come to an end, and once again, we return to Jabberwock Island. The size of our group has definitely diminished. But despite that, even if it was just the rest of us, we did our best to stay upbeat and have fun together. Of course, our optimism was only superficial. But at that moment, we were able to forget about the dark despair looming before us. However, the only thing I was worried about was him. He wasn't there. He suddenly disappeared from our sight. Yup, I'm definitely lucky. I never expected to obtain so many valuable things from a simple game of Russian roulette. Thanks to that, I was able to learn the identity of our true enemy. And before everyone else, too. But it's just too funny. I mean, no one could tell I was lying. There's no way this file had just Hajime's information.
Well,
Guess they were too busy with other matters. Or maybe they've reached their limit. Regardless, I was saved. Things would get complicated if they found out. Anyway, I can't forgive this.
damn it.
This should never be forgiven. There's no way I can let this run loose. I'll be the one who stops this once and for all. Even if it costs me my life.
It's obvious.
For the sake of hope, I cannot ignore this.
Monokuma appears!
Alright, Monokuma has arrived. Who summoned me? Thanks for
then.
coming.
What's
Why, it's
this?
the lonely little Nagito. Are you all alone tonight, too?
What's
So what's
the
up? Your
matter?
face looks scary. I see. So you can tell. Perhaps you have found out who the traitor is? You know me well. Here's what I'd like to say, but unfortunately I haven't learned that yet. I see. So even you don't know, huh? Looks like the final showdown is gonna take a little more time.
Hello.
Why'd you summon me anyway? Are you finally gonna confess your love?
Hey,
I summon you because there's something I really need to ask you. It's about the special prize from the final dead room. Oh yeah, what about it? There's information about 16 people in the file I received. But isn't that weird?
Say what?
What's weird?
you don't
Well,
even
there's
know?
a traitor from the Future Foundation hiding among us, right? Including that person, the total number of students would be 16, right?
Isn't
But
that
this file
right?
contains documents that were created at Hope's Peak Academy, right?
Of
That's right.
course.
I just reused stuff that the former headmaster spent a lot of time making.
But
This file even contains information about the traitor. Was that person also a former student of Hope's Peak Academy?
Who knows?
Ooh, I wonder.
hey,
Could it be? Is this your doing? Did you slip false information into the file? Were you trying to keep us from learning the traitor's identity by obtaining this information? What's wrong with that? It's my job to heat things up. It's okay if I do something small like that, right?
well,
That's not my point. My
right.
point is, you already know who the traitor is. What's wrong with that?
You're getting
Well,
all riled
you're splendidly
up.
correct when you say, I knew who the traitor was all along. But even though I know who it is, why do you think I ignored it on purpose? It's just like Monami after losing her magic stick. The traitor's existence means absolutely nothing to me. Your existence means nothing, huh?
No,
Well, that's just how
no.
I feel. I'm sure you guys feel somewhat different. After all, that person is the evil Future Foundation lackey who's putting you guys through this awful stuff. That's not entirely true. I didn't really come here to fight or anything like that. Instead, I came here to offer my cooperation, you know? Cooperation?
hey,
Your purpose is to fill everyone on this island with despair, right? That's why you're intentionally letting the traitor do as they please, right?
Yep.
Yep.
I...
If that's the case, I might be able to cooperate somewhat too. However, in exchange, I want to know who the traitor is. I see. Very interesting. Very interesting. Obviously, that's a
no.
big no-no. I mean, I want to make everyone in your group feel despair. That includes you too. Well, I knew you'd say that. Besides, I just wouldn't be able to handle the sadness when you inevitably betray me later on. Just as I thought, you saw right through me.
You're
No matter
right.
what situation I find myself in, my core way of thinking will never change. In order to create absolute hope that shines brightly, stepladders such as myself in despair exist. You're right. You're a true believer of hope after all. I must say, that belief reminds me of that person for some reason. Reminds you? I don't know who you're talking about, but if someone as worthless as me reminds you of some other person, they must be extremely unlucky. But you're just as unlucky, right? I mean, the fact that you're even involved in something like this. Am I? Actually, I think that I'm very lucky.
Say what?
Huh?
You don't know?
Would you say that coming across this much despair is a rather rare opportunity? I can't rely on anyone on this island. That's why I have to be the one who does it. If I can eliminate despair from this island, I won't have to be a stepladder anymore. I'll become true hope. I'll become an existence that could even be called the ultimate hope. The two of you are alike. You definitely remind me of him. Hey, there's one more thing I want to ask you. Who are you waiting for on this island? Huh? Looks like I'm right again. You're definitely waiting for someone on this island. Is the person you're waiting for already on this island? Well, answer my question. If that's the case, if that person is already on this island, wouldn't that be exciting? Whatever the hell all that was just about. Seems Nagito's gonna try to be stirring up some shit. That's actually not all that surprising, really. We got 5 days left until the bomb goes off. Holy fuck, we are drawing to a rapid close to this game. We just got 2 chapters left, 5 and 6. Do Ultimate Robots Dream of Clockwork end? 2 awesome characters dead. And we're left with 7. And as our present, we get Gundam's Devil Dog Earring. Hellhound Earring. Fuck. Close enough. Devil Dog is what it was in the Japanese version. The Devil Dog Earring is what it was in Japanese. Okay. So everyone, with that, I'm going to call it an episode. So next time on Let's Play Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair, we are going to be starting off Chapter 5, and I'm going to have my guest Parav back here with me. So, until then, I'll see you guys later.